Tastes like those candies that you get. Those like dried orange candies.
I have no idea what you're
You know
talking
what I'm
about.
talking about?
Nope.
No? I guess I'll go
Can you explain it to me?
They're like the little dried... They have like sugar on them.
Oh, so the fake
orange.
orange.
Like,
They're fake.
They're fake.
Not real dried oranges.
Oh, yeah, they're candies.
They're gummies.
I said candy.
You said dried oranges. It's not a dried orange.
Are you sure?
It's time for the Garage Boozing Podcast.
What's up, nerds? And welcome back to another episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast. Today I am joined by my very best friend in the entire world, my brother from another mother, the future best man at my wedding, Riley McDaddy, a.k.a. Riley McLaughlin, and you are in for one hell of a show. This episode goes all over the place, but I mean, so does every episode, so would you expect anything less? Probably not. But with all that being said, you know what time it is. It's time to sit back, relax, kick your feet up, crack open a cold one, and if you're really feeling fruity, take a shot. Why not? Because this week's episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast starts now.
Oh, yeah, in support for the Garage Boozing Podcast, it is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped will help you trim up the family jewels to make everything nice and right for the ladies. Make sure that you're using promo code TGBP20 for 20% off your Manscaped products. Oh, yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast. Today I am joined by one very special guest, my brother from another mother, my best friend in the entire world, Riley McDaddy, Riley McLaughlin. Welcome back to the show.
You know, I'm not going to lie. More than anything, it just feels like an honor to be back for, I don't know if you knew this, a third time.
A third time?
A third time. So I'm just really glad to be back drinking beers and, what is it, vodka seltzers with you?
Yes, okay. So before you guys all get on to me, I'm not drinking beer today. I'm on a little bit of a health kick, but, you know, I do like my alcohol. So today I decided to drink some vodka seltzers. I'm making them myself. Bartender Chase over here. 0 carbs, trying to be healthy. Keto, if you will. Even though I just had a cheeseburger before this. Not keto. But,
Yeah, there was no extra condiments besides the ketchup and mustard, though, so I'm really proud of you. You know, you didn't go too crazy with it.
that is true. It's because it was a Stewart's cheeseburger. Those of you across the world have no idea what Stewart's is, but it's like a Wawa. If you're like from the South, it's kind of like a Wawa, but not nearly as nice.
I think they need to give you some money for free advertisement right there.
Right? Oh, I'm actually drinking Stewart Seltzer, but then again, I don't want to get sued for it. What would that be?
Copyright infringement,
What is
maybe.
that?
I don't know. You're
Yeah.
giving them a shout-out. I think it'd be all
Yeah,
right.
they would be cool, right? Shit, that threw me off my mumbo jumbo here. What was I going to say? Yeah, vodka seltzer. I'm drinking that. Whatever. Judge me. Natty Light, I'll drink that again next week. But actually, you know what? So now that we're talking about alcohol, usually I save the beer review for the end, but I think right now we're going to start off with a beer review. What do you think about that?
I am more than game for that.
All right. So this is going to be your first beer review.
Okay.
So basically what I think so, right? You haven't done one
Nope.
yet? Okay. So basically what I do is I bring a beer or an alcohol. I call it a beer review, but sometimes it's like a seltzer or like a fucking malt beverage.
Ooh.
Is a malt beverage a beer?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I don't know. It's
I bring
something.
some type of alcohol in a can, and we try it, and we rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. So this is one that's fairly new. Fairly new, came out, and I've been itching to try it. Let me
Can I take a guess at what it is?
Yeah.
If it's Happy Dad, I'm going to shit my
No,
fucking
I wish
pants.
we don't have Happy Dad yet.
If it was Happy Dad, I probably would
You
have
like the
creamed my
Nelk
pants.
Boys?
Oh, I love the Nelk Boys. They're hilarious.
So funny. Ugh. Happy Dad got rid of the skinny can, and they have like just a regular fat can. I can't wait till Happy Dad gets here. I hope it's good. My expectations are high if it's coming from the Nelk Boys. But anyway, so what I have here is, it's not just your everyday White Claw hard seltzer. It's a White Claw hard seltzer Surge.
Whoa.
8%.
Whoa,
So White
fuck.
Claw came out with an 8% seltzer.
Blood orange.
Very new.
I like the can.
The can is cool, and I'm a seltzer guy. I love White Claw. I love
This'll be-
Bud Light Seltzer Truly.
This will be different. I'm not a seltzer guy.
You're not a
So
seltzer
it's
guy.
you're gonna
No.
get a
That's okay.
two different sides of the spectrum here.
Natty Light Seltzer is my favorite, of course. Not a biased opinion, just saying.
Do this. Do we do a cheers?
Sure. Here we go.
Let's see what it tastes like.
I always let the guests go first.
I like it. Very smooth. That it's gonna 8%. That's something that would get you fucked up.
Yeah, 8%. That's very high, and
would
it doesn't taste like 8%.
I would see 6. Probably after 6 of those, I would probably be trying to eat pizza somewhere. I would be fucked up.
Definitely, a Domino's order would happen that night.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
not at all. Tastes like those candies that you get. Those like dried orange candies.
I have no idea what you're
You
talking
know what
about.
I'm talking about?
Nope.
No? I guess we'll
Can you explain it to me?
They're like the little dried, they have like sugar on them.
Oh, so the fake orange.
Like,
They're
yeah,
fake.
they're fake.
Not
Yeah,
real dried oranges.
Oh yeah, they're candies.
They're gummies.
I said candy.
You said dried oranges. It's not a dried orange.
Are you sure?
What you're thinking of is a gummy. It's like a sweet treat, not even a dried up orange. A snack, if you will.
Thank you.
But now I know what you're talking about. But yes, it does taste like that. The taste is very good.
I'm not even bullshitting you with this. If I didn't want to drink it, I probably would have said, "Oh yeah, it's good," and kind of put it off to the side.
I would drink that.
It's really good.
I would buy that.
It's really good. And like it doesn't have that seltzer taste to where it's like
It's not
salty,
yeah.
if that makes sense. It's good.
It's not overwhelming. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
White Claw hard seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer Surge, 8%. The first White Claw to be 8%. Usually they're 5. Wow, I'll let you go first.
Are we doing it on 1 to 10?
0 to 10.
0 to 10? I'm gonna go 8.3.
I love that you use the decimal. That's good.
I like 8.3.
Professional score. I think I'm right there with you. 8.3.
I think it's pretty good.
8.3 is a very good score. Yeah,
It's not too sugary. It's not too sweet. It's just one of those. You know what? For the people out there, there's a boat beer.
Oh my god!
If you're
yeah.
going out on, on
beach
a boat,
beer, a boat beer,
Yeah,
you're
beach
drinking
beer,
by the
boat
water.
beer.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll drink the rest of that. I wish I bought more now, kind of. It was only $2 for the can, which isn't terrible for 8%.
The only thing that I have that's probably bringing the score down to an 8.3, I cannot stop burping after drinking that.
Well, it's a seltzer,
It is
yeah.
a seltzer.
Yeah, no, you're burping like crazy. But just like beer, though, when you drink beer, don't you burp?
That is true.
But all right, so yeah, 8.3 across the board, and I think that's the first beer review that I've ever agreed with a guest on the score. But I was literally thinking 8.3 before you said that, and I was like, "Fuck it," you know what? And that he stole my score, so
You might as well.
might as well keep it.
I honor that. I gotta ask before we keep going.
Yeah.
What is the number for most appearances on this show? Is it 3?
No, I think it's. Well, I'm drawing a blank here. I think it might be my dad.
I could see your dad being up
I think
there.
it's my dad and Matt Bashar.
I was gonna say Matt too.
Matt Bashar and my dad, I think, both have 4.
So I'm right behind him.
Right behind him.
I like that.
You know, and some people only come on the podcast once. Some people have been here, not been invited back yet.
I feel honored. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest with you. I feel honored that I'm here in the studio in the
love that.
fucking dungeon
In
with
the
the
dungeon.
boys.
With
Well,
the-
with the
boy.
boy.
We were totally on sync there with the boy.
With the boy.
But shit, what was I gonna say? I keep saying that. What was I gonna say? Because I lose my train of thought. Fuck.
We're just going off the cuff
I
right
know,
now
we're-
too.
we're
This is just
we're
pure.
we're just sending it.
Just sending it.
But oh yeah. So I mean, 3 appearances is that's a lot. Because I mean, eventually when I start having celebrities and A-listers on this thing, and I leave you in the dust and forget about
I'll
you,
at least be
like-
able to say I was on there 3 times. Hopefully a 4th after this before you start getting big.
for sure. I mean, this is gonna be episode 41. I can't believe that already. Wow.
What are you gonna do for episode 50?
All right. So if I tell you something, you can't repeat it. Okay.
Deal.
Off the record here.
Lips are sealed.
All right. Chase edited this out. So on episode 50,
Is this real? Like you're actually?
big guest coming to
Okay.
the podcast. Leonardo DiCaprio.
If Leonardo DiCaprio's here, I'm bringing my copy of The Departed, and I'm getting that shit fucking signed. I would be here. Oh
I had
my
you
god,
going, didn't
that
I?
would be so. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, instantly you laughed. You're like Leonardo DiCaprio.
At first, I was thinking you were gonna say somebody from like just you being you, like The Real World or something like that, or just some local big, and then you're like, yeah, Leo, he's just gonna stop by for a beer.
I tried to think of something more reasonable, but it's like it's the first celebrity name I could think of, so I was like, yeah, Leonardo, knowing that you would know it was a joke. But I just love how instantly I say Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't even finish a sentence and you're laughing. Because why the fuck would Leonardo DiCaprio drive all the way here?
He might like beer. You never know.
He's probably a wine drinker.
Oh, 100%.
You know what's funny is like through social media and stuff, I always get a lot of people that want to be guests on the Garage Boozing podcast that like live in different states and stuff like that. But the thing is here with the Garage Boozing podcast, I don't want to do one of those remote like podcast interviews and stuff like that. I want you to be in the garage and have the garage experience.
You got to get the feeling.
Yeah, you
got to
have
get the feeling.
You
You got to get a couple beers in before. You got to get some real nice banter going back and forth before you go live, because otherwise it's just You don't really know who you're talking to.
And that's the thing. Sometimes I have guests that I'm not really great friends with, so like I like having that nice little hour before just to like warm up and stuff. But yeah, have a few liquid courage, I call it. Have a few beers, take a few shots, get some liquid courage, and then get ready to go. You know, I'm a big believer in liquid courage. By the way, if you say liquid courage is not a thing, you're a fucking liar.
Oh, it's 100% a thing.
Absolutely. You got to break some nerves off.
Take
Slam
a
a
shot
few. Yeah,
take a shot of Fireball if you want to. If you want to do something you never thought you would do before, do a shot of Fireball
or 3.
or 3, and you are going to either excel at what it is or you are going to die failing. But you're gonna try.
Like those little shooters. Do you remember when we would go out to South Street? That's a local like bar street near our house. But we would go out to the bar and I'd be wearing a suit jacket because I want to always look fly, and I would have literally pockets full of Fireball shooters because I'm so cheap and didn't want to pay for them at the bar. So I would just slam them when someone wasn't looking or slam them in the bathroom. Think about how much money I saved instead of spaying. Wow, I'm getting spayed. There goes my wiener. Oh wait, no, I think it's girl dogs get spayed, right?
Yeah,
guys get fixed.
What does that say about you, Chase, if you're getting spayed?
All right. Anyway,
You saying Fireball though? You remember my 21st birthday? Trying to do 21 shots of Fireball,
oh Lord.
and then you and Dane had to bring me into
Oh
my
yes, I do remember that.
I tried to pick a fight with a brick wall.
Was your mom awake when we brought you home?
Oh yeah.
Oh, she was, right? Remind me of this because I don't.
So
I have the worst memory. Dude.
So your dad, being the
he brought us
extremely
home.
awesome
Yes!
person that he is, picked you, me, and Dane up, brought us home, and I couldn't get out of the car. I just fell asleep in your dad's back seat. So
you
and
wouldn't move
Dane-
out of the car.
So you and Dane had to carry my fat ass into the house, and the minute I got in my mom's living room, whatever you want to call that,
We
kitchen
put you on
floor,
the. I thought we put. Oh, we did put you on the floor.
and I
wasn't
puked,
it?
and I just puked all over the place. And my mom, being the awesome woman she is, left me there. She put a blanket over me, but she left me there.
That's better than sleeping on Shelly's kitchen floor.
Is it okay if I hit this? I just
Yeah.
don't want the smoke to.
Who cares? It's you got a little vape thing, dude. Go ahead. There's no illegal drugs in there. Wait, is it tobacco or is it nicotine? It smells like flowers or whatever. It smells very good. No, I don't want to. I don't smoke. I'm above that.
You really should be. It's bad for you.
Yeah, but yeah, never smoked a thing in my life, so I want to hold true to that. Anyway,
You know what? You were just you were a good choir boy.
well, I wouldn't say
You didn't
that.
drink until you were 21.
Well,
You know, just really upstanding citizen. No bad things.
Well, I mean, I'd be a liar if I said I didn't get drunk a few times before I was 21. But turning 21 really made me go downhill because I didn't used to drink much before I was 21.
You used to rag on me all the time.
I know. I used to give you shit all the time. And I remember that one time. I think it was right. Oh, no, because it was before we got our apartment. But I know I got drunk on prom night. I got drunk camping once. And then another time I got drunk was that time we had Canadian whiskey in your basement.
Yep.
I think we were probably 19 years old, something like that.
We were in high school.
There's no way we were in high school.
We were senior year of high school. I will never.
Okay,
I
that
will
makes
never
sense.
forget it.
Okay.
Never forget it.
Yeah.
I ended up.
We had like 14 shots that night. It was unreal.
We drank the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I broke out gin, which was a horrible idea.
I got so. And I remember after that, the next day I felt so shitty. I was like, I'm never drinking again.
I had to go to a book fair. For
book
fucking science, it was like a science book fair or something. And we had to
book fair.
present like a project. And I remember, I hate to even say it, but I got sick in a chip bag. I don't know if you remember it.
A chip bag is very small. Oh, you mean like a big
big
bag?
chip
Okay,
bag.
holy shit.
Got
Wait,
sick
when I
in
was
that.
with you?
Yeah. So I threw it in the garbage. We had like the carpenter waste thing, like the bins. I get a phone call from my mom at 10 o'clock. I'm just really hungover at this fucking science fair. And she calls me and she goes, you want to explain to me the bag of puke that's in the garbage can right now? It reeks of alcohol. And I'm like,
The puke smelled like alcohol? She got a good nose.
oh, dude, we drank a lot that night.
We did.
We drank a lot of hard alcohol. So I'm like, and before I could even say anything, she goes, oh, yeah. By the way, I found all the little homemade bongs you've been making underneath underneath the deck. She goes, you want to explain those too? And I was just like, can we talk about this when I get home? But after football games, this is going to sound so ghetto. I didn't want my parents to know that I smoked. So I would take a water bottle and you poke a hole in the top of it with a pen, like a hollowed out pen. And then you make a bell out of the aluminum foil and poke it with a couple, like a thumbtack, whatever. And you put your weed in there and you poke another hole for a carb, and that's how you smoke it.
How do you learn that?
I just MacGyver shit. I really don't even know.
Bill Nye the Science Guy over here. Jesus.
I probably fucked me up smoking out of aluminum, but what are you gonna do?
A water bottle's plastic.
It was probably really not good for me.
He goes,
It was probably really not good.
Smoking out of aluminum. Well, that smoking that plastic obviously caught up to you.
Hey, it did. It definitely did.
So why were we drinking Canadian whiskey? Why did we choose that?
Because when you
Wait,
were
who
that
bought us that?
when you were that age, you have no choice, and you have to raid your parents' liquor cabinet.
That was your mom.
And that's all they had. And then, unfortunately, my dumbass, it was like a brown fucking liquor, whatever you want to call it.
It was dark.
I put water in it, just thinking she wouldn't even notice the difference. So I
Riley.
filled it back up with water.
Riley. I was going to say, because I remember the bottle. I remember that very much.
I hate to even say it. I can't tell you how many times I did that. I just raided, it started off, probably senior year of high school is when you really start dabbling with drinking a little bit, going to parties and shit like that. So they had some nicer ones like Jägermeister. They had Jameson, whatever. And I always would just put water back in the bottle because they were discolored bottles, not thinking they would know. The Canadian LTD, it's a clear bottle with a dark liquor in it. Didn't even think twice about it. I put water in it, and she was like, "You fucking idiot. What are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing?"
That's so funny. Yeah, but you have cool parents, though. So,
Ray Rod takes the cake, though. I'll never forget when we were doing small and large videos. Shout out to small and large.
yep. Throwback in the day. Did I leave you hanging there?
No, I was doing a little clap, but I like that. I like that.
I thought you were trying to fist bump me.
But I'll never forget when he would come down and be like, "You're here again? We're going to eat all of our food
He's
in the
like,
refrigerator?"
he's like, lock up the fridge. Riley's here. So for those of you that don't know, me and Riley used to have a YouTube channel back in the day, back in middle school, early high school days, called Small and Large. And that's where I really got a fix-in for the whole, internet, I don't know, content. What do you call it?
You got
Content creator
you got the
business?
bug.
Yeah, the bug.
You got the bug.
But we used to make little skits and stuff, and it took off. Actually, we did pretty well back in the early YouTube days. And my dad was so funny. Me and Riley be filming a video, and my dad would come down and now that it's 10 years later, we can admit the fact that it was a complete joke. But all the viewers and stuff always thought it was real.
100%.
My dad would literally come and interrupt the video and just start screaming, "You're making those MySpace videos again." "Oh, Riley's here again? Oh, great. Bad influence, Riley. What are we going to do? Lock up the fridge? He's going to eat all the food." And it was just it's so fucking funny. And nowadays, dude, imagine if we were doing that now, people would be like, "Oh, you can't talk to that kid."
Oh my
like
God,
that.
you're
oh, that's terrible. My dad would get arrested.
CPS would be at your dad's house being like, "What is going on here?"
I know. Oh my God, my dad would get canceled. He'd be canceled.
That's another thing too, man. That whole
Cancel
I don't know
culture.
if we can talk about
I'll
that,
talk
but
about
it's
it.
fucking absolutely ridiculous.
I just think that I don't know. I'll make it very short and sweet on that topic, and I think I'm a big believer in freedom of speech, regardless of where that speech goes. I think every human should be able to say what they want about what they want. You shouldn't be limited to what you can say. And, America is actually one of the only countries in the entire... Actually, it might be the only country. I'm not positive, so don't check me on this. I'm one of the only countries that you actually have the right of freedom of speech.
Absolutely.
Because there's other countries that'll be first world countries and stuff, too. But if you say something that people don't agree with, you're getting a ticket, you're getting jailed, whatever it is. Something's going on. So, that's a beauty of America. People complain about being in America all the time, there's this bad. Okay, so go somewhere else and see how it is.
Dude, the fact that you said that just makes me so happy because that's 100% how I believe. I hate to say it, but you'll see on Facebook or whatever, all the bad things that happen in this country and stuff. And it's when you break it down, every country has its flaw. No matter what.
Right.
Obviously.
We're not perfect. I'm not saying we're not perfect.
America's not perfect.
We are
there
not,
are a lot of
yeah,
flaws.
definitely not
There are a
perfect.
lot of flaws. But when it comes down to people being able to be themselves and having a say in what they believe and what they want to say and how they portray it, you can do it.
Yeah, do I think if someone comes out and says something terrible, I'll think wow, that's terrible. But who am I to say that they can't say it?
Absolutely.
Just who am I to say that they can't feel the way they feel and have the opinion that they have? Just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean that I'm right or they're right. Draft Top. The Draft Top was designed to give you a better all-around drinking experience, and this is how. You take your cool little bar tool. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see me demonstrate it right here. If you're listening, you're just going to have to listen to me explain. But you take your cool little draft top, open it right up, stick it on top of your beer can, right like this, give it a little friction, a little to the left, a little to the right, a little to the left, a little to the right. Boom, look at that, quick and easy. Your beer just became a cup. It makes for an all-around better drinking experience. You can smell the aromas of the alcohol. You can chug your beer a hell of a lot quicker. So forget about a red Solo cup, I'll fill you up. Your draft top just made your beer can into a cup. So forget about wasting plastic, doing dishes. You don't have to do any of that. Drink it right out of your can like it's a cup. Slug it faster, smell the aroma, have a better drinking experience, and get yours now. I want you to have one. You want you to have one. Draft Top wants you to have one. So go to www.drafttop.com, get your Draft Top now, and don't forget to use promo code GBPC15. That stands for Garage Boozing Podcast. 15% off, because that's right. The guys at Draft Top upped our promo code from 10% to 15%. So you can now get 15% off your Draft Top. Again, that is www.drafttop.com. Use promo code GBPC15 right now. Do it. You won't regret it. Thank me later. All right, back to the show. Oh, actually, so have you seen this season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
I have not.
Me either. I haven't watched it at all. I was just curious.
Who in the world asks, have you seen this season? And then says, oh, yeah, neither have I. I haven't seen it.
I was just curious. But anyway, next topic.
I know, do you mind if I just ask you bringing up TV shows? I know I asked before, but
yeah.
I'm going to say it to everybody. Go out if you have Hulu and watch Fuck That's Delicious. Because I think you will love it.
Tell me about that again. What is
so it's Action Bronson, the rapper.
And the show's literally called Fuck That's Delicious?
It's literally called Fuck That's Delicious.
Is it like bleeped out in the title, or it says fuck?
It's F
Star.
asterisk K, but it's totally uncensored if you have Hulu. Sure. But it's on the Vice network, which has Dark Side of the Ring. Okay. Fucking amazing.
I love that show.
So if that gives you any indication, very good quality show. But they go around all over the world, smoke a bunch of weed. So they do that. They drink a lot of wine, and they just try like the most crazy food all over the country.
I like food.
Dude, I love food. What's your favorite food?
Ooh.
If you're going out, you're gonna have a couple drinks, a really nice night. You're gonna maybe take a girl on a date. You don't want to eat too much, but you're like, you know what? I haven't eaten today. I want to have a good meal. Where are you going?
Well, that's a different question than what you asked. You asked me what my favorite food is, but then you're saying where am I going? Like,
you know what I did? I'm sorry. It's okay. I definitely split that up in two.
So say I go out to that restaurant with that girl or whatever. Okay, does this restaurant have everything on the menu and I can order whatever I want? I can order my favorite food? Like, is that the question? Because
so we're going to split it up in two then. Okay. What's your favorite food? I'll just hit you with that first.
Cheese ravioli.
Cheese ravioli.
Yep.
Really? Out of everything in the world?
Second in line would be steak, but I love cheese ravioli, and I'll tell you why. Because when I was growing up as a kid, I used to spend the night at my grandparents every Saturday and Sunday night. Actually, every Friday and Saturday night, and then Sunday mornings I go to church. Yeah, so my grandma every single week would make me cheese raviolis, man. The way she made them, I try to make them, they never come out the same. So maybe it's just something about the grandma's touch.
I think that's what it is.
I don't know. And she'd give me my Ovaltine chocolate milk in a sippy cup.
You had Ovaltine?
Ovaltine, yeah.
Get out of here. I always thought it was Yoo-Hoo.
No, it was always Ovaltine.
That's fucking awesome.
Yoo-Hoo is chocolate drink. It's not chocolate milk. Ovaltine's chocolate mix that you put in the milk, so it makes it chocolate milk.
That's so fucking funny,
yeah.
dude. I remember going over to your grandparents' house and just loving it. Your grandparents are fucking amazing.
They were awesome, dude. They're so cool. One thing I wanted to bring up here. So, Conor McGregor is having fight number 3 with Dustin Poirier. I think it's July next month.
It's actually 3 weeks away.
3 weeks away.
3 weeks away.
My guy pays attention. So I'm not a huge
my
UFC
dad
guy.
Pays attention?
My guy, you.
Oh, I thought you said my dad pays attention.
No.
I'm like,
well, actually, he probably does. I mean, my dad loves Conor McGregor.
I thought you were calling me daddy for a second. I was gonna say, geez, this is gonna get dark and dirty on the Garage Boozing podcast in a second.
Forget about call her daddy. Call him daddy. But so I love UFC and stuff like that. Like, I'll get the pay-per-views and stuff just to like watch the fighting. I love the fights.
It's awesome.
But to be honest with you, I have become more of a boxing fan than a UFC fight.
Really?
And yes, just because I just love the fact that it's just straight punching.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because a lot of the times in a UFC MMA fight, like there's so many times where people are just hugging on the ground and it's just like grappling. They're sitting there taking their breath.
You know, I'll talk about this real quick. I only did it for 6 months, but I did train at Matt Secor's BJJ and BJJ. Blowjob job. But no, I trained at Secor's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a couple months. Nothing crazy.
Former Ultimate Fighter.
But definitely a former Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah,
very good coach, very good trainer.
He's a good guy.
Very good guy.
My neighbor as well.
But to me, like you say, like hugging on the ground and stuff, it's funny, like different aspects of it.
Yeah.
Like to someone who did it, it's like, okay, this guy's setting up for an Americana or setting up for, an armbar, triangle chokehold, whatever. But to a casual fan or somebody that likes to stand up, let's just fucking go type stuff, it's boring. And I can see why you like boxing.
Yeah, boxing is just like, I don't know. Like, I mention every podcast, so I'll say it shortly, but like I also think the Paul brothers had a big thing of bringing boxing very relevant in the recent.
What is your take on the Paul brothers?
I love them.
You
love
really,
them.
you love them.
Love them.
Really?
As you can tell, Riley doesn't listen to every fucking episode, or else he would know that. But that's okay. It's okay. I don't need your support.
I just wanted to get your take on the Paul brothers because I can't get it. I can't get into it. I can't get into the hype of it.
Do you like Conor McGregor?
I know where you're going with this.
No, seriously, do you?
I enjoy his showmanship.
Right, so why don't you enjoy the Paul showmanship? Because exactly what they're doing. They're putting asses in seats.
Because they're not real
Why do you say
mixed
that?
martial artist athletes.
They're not mixed martial artists. They're boxers.
My apologies.
I like arguments, so now we're going to argue here. I didn't even... you know what's funny? With my little list of stuff here, I didn't want to bring this up because this is such a stale topic because I bring this up every week. But you know what? We'll talk about it for a second.
I love it.
So what I say is... Everyone says they're not real fighters. Why aren't they real fighters? Because they grew up on YouTube and Disney Channel and stuff like that. Dude, when you become rich and get money like that, if they want to spend their money getting trained by Evander Holyfield and all these fucking Mike Tyson, all these fucking huge camps, and want to literally dedicate their life to boxing, who the fuck am I to say they're not real boxers?
And I'll give you, and I will give you that.
They're both signed to Showtime Boxing.
And I'll give you that. But to me, it's like the wrestling world. You're a wrestling fan, obviously.
Sure.
For me, to what makes somebody a real draw, like a real fighter or a real wrestler, is going through the bottom of the barrel stuff. Like they never started off at doing an undercard with 30 people in the stands. And, to me, it's just...
How could they? That's impossible because they're literally rich and famous.
But they didn't go through the whole regiment of...
Because they can't.
They could have, though.
How could they have? They literally started off on YouTube and stuff, and then eventually decided they wanted to go to boxing. They had no desire to be boxers. And then they're like, okay, yeah, actually, this boxing thing is like kind of cool. And they get into it, right? So someone like Logan Paul or Jake Paul, like say that our local civic center, for example, that would be sold out if that man was boxing in that arena. Like, you can't have a boxing match with that guy and not have just like 3,000 seats, just so you know. I'm not saying he's selling out the fucking, like...
Madison Square Garden.
Which, honestly,
he probably would.
Both of them would. But I will say, I think Jake is a better fighter than Logan, like, all day.
I guess
Jake's undefeated.
I guess to me what it is they didn't go through the hard times of being an actual fighter.
Because they didn't have to.
And they didn't have to. And I'm not disagreeing with that. And they are an amazing show. They're publicists. They're... amazing great shit talkers, great at putting stuff on Instagram or TikTok or whatever.
Selling tickets.
I mean,
That's the point.
They're money makers. But to me, I guess the most recent thing I saw was one of the Paul brothers said that they wanted to fight. I don't remember who it was. But it said I'm undefeated. And it must have been, who was it? Logan.
Jake's undefeated.
Jake
is the younger brother.
Who was the one that just fought Mayweather? Was
Logan.
it Logan? Logan said that he wanted to fight somebody.
How you can tell them apart? Logan doesn't have tattoos. Jake has tattoos everywhere.
Okay. And so it was Logan was saying that he could beat somebody, and it's like, dude, you can't beat somebody if it's in an exhibition.
Floyd Mayweather is the one that made that decision to make that an exhibition match.
Is it really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Well,
I did not know
I'll
that.
tell you why. One, because there's like a 40-pound difference, so it had to be an exhibition. But also, two, like obviously Floyd was a little scared. This guy's a lot bigger than him, younger than him, bigger reach and stuff like that. Obviously, Floyd won the fight. There's no joke about that. But in the long run, like, Logan kind of won
ground. He stood his ground.
Logan won too. Yeah, I mean, he literally went, 8 rounds with the best boxer ever? Like, incredible. All right, folks, let me tell you all about the Pump Action Shotgun Tool. Whoa, there's a tool for shotgunning? Hell yeah, there is. So listen to this. The Pump Action Shotgun Tool, created by the Drunk Engineers. Love that name, by the way. It makes shotgunning a hell of a lot easier, and let me tell you how. So you're going to take your beer, and you're going to stick it right in the shotgun tool, like this. Hold it like that so the air pockets are up here, and then you're going to give it a little squeeze. You're going to hear pop, bam, pop. But look at that. No mess. So right now the air pocket's right up here, and you're going to want to make sure you take this, push that down, and then what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the tool. Hold the beer can in place to the mouthpiece. Then you're going to put your mouth on the mouthpiece and shotgun. And boom, no mess. You can shotgun at the dinner table, family events, wherever you want with absolutely no mess. So forget shotgunning, slamming a knife right through. Yeah, not a thing anymore. Thanks to the Pump Action Shotgun Tool by Drunk Engineers. And you can get yours right now. So just log on to www.drunkengineers.ca. Don't forget to use promo code GarageBoozing for 15% off site-wide. That's right, promo code Garage Boozing for 15% off site-wide. Go get yours now. Thank me later. Back to the show. But anyway, that brings me back. So this whole started with Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier.
Yes.
So we're talking about real MMA fighting.
Real MMA fighting, real UFC fighting.
So how do you think that's going to go for Conor?
I think I love Conor. I
love Conor McGregor.
I love the showmanship, but when it comes right down to it, I think Dustin's going to win.
Why do you think that?
I think that you just look at the past, and to me, it seems like Conor is way too on-off with it. I don't think he's had, in my opinion, the right amount of... It seems like every fight he has is championship high-level fights, to whereas Dustin has had a couple, lower card UFC events. It seems like all the hype is always behind Conor, and Dustin's the underdog. He won the last one. I think momentum's in his favor, and I think he's just going to wipe the floor with Conor.
But knowing the animal that Conor McGregor is, and he won the first fight, Conor, so which was years ago.
Yep.
So coming in, he's already thinking, I beat this guy once. A lot of Conor's game is mental power too. The thing is recently we've seen nice Conor McGregor within his last 2 fights, and that's we don't like that Conor McGregor, because the Conor McGregor that plays games,
he's a bad man.
Yeah,
he's a bad man.
The bad man, fucking shit talking crazy Conor McGregor. That's the Conor McGregor that wins fights. So when you have nice guy fucking shaking hands at the weigh-in and stuff like that, that doesn't fuck with your opponent's brain like the way he used to be.
And you saying that's another reason why I think Dustin will win, because like you said...
Oh, he's bringing the bad boy back, though.
See, because what I saw on Instagram was it looked like they were hugging at, getting just almost buddy type things.
In the second fight?
No, in this one.
They haven't done the weigh-in yet.
Not the weigh-in, but it seemed like early pressers and stuff like that, getting ready for it. It's like buddy type stuff. It's like, no, I want the old Conor when he was...
See, I think when it gets closer, when they're doing the actual press conferences and the weigh-ins and stuff that's when you're going to see Conor come out, because he keeps saying on Twitter, the bad boy's back.
But before, when he was fighting Aldo and other guys like that,
when he was fucking crazy,
there was no, okay, I'm going to bring the bad boy back. It was
I am
the baddest motherfucker in this whole division.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the difference. I'm not even going to deny it. Conor McGregor was the king. He was the face of the UFC. A couple losses here and there to Khabib and then Dustin and everything like that. And
sure,
the last one, like you said, really playing to the crowd. It almost seemed like he was trying to be a good guy. As a fan, I want to see that fucking douchebag. I want to see that cocky asshole motherfucker come back and be like, I'm going to knock this guy out in the first round. If it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be upset. He's got the swagger.
It's just entertaining.
It is entertaining. And that's the Conor McGregor I miss, is that entertaining, I'm going to knock this guy the fuck out. And if it doesn't happen, you're tuned in.
But
I
also,
don't care.
the best thing that ever happened to that guy was that fight with Floyd Mayweather, because that made him a 100 millionaire. So he doesn't have to fight in the UFC, dude. And the thing is, back to the Paul brothers. So their big thing is they want fighters to get paid, right?
Right.
So in the UFC, dude, they don't get paid. A majority of that money goes to Dana White and the UFC.
They're making peanuts.
Sure, but you have your Conor McGregor fight where he's making a couple mil, stuff like that.
But
dude, Logan Paul just got 18 million to fight Floyd Mayweather in an exhibition match, and Floyd got over 100 million, which he probably needs because he's a bankrupt little bitch. But I just think that I hope that this time we're going to see a different Conor McGregor, just simply because it's a trilogy,
Yeah.
So I'm hoping.
This should be the third and last fight that they'll ever have.
His second fight with Diaz, didn't he win by decision? Was it by decision?
The first one was
he got beat by Diaz.
No, the first one he got beat by submission. I think the second one, I could be wrong. I don't know if it went to decision.
I think it did.
It might have.
It went all the way.
Have they had a trilogy yet?
No.
I don't think they haven't had the trilogy yet, right?
No, I don't think they're gonna.
I know. I don't know if you have a lot of UFC fans. If not,
so McGregor won by decision.
He did?
I just Googled it, yeah. So anyway, I just think that Conor McGregor, if he's even entertaining the thought of a rematch with someone like this, their first fight was years ago. So
Right.
this is really a rematch, but sure, we'll call it a trilogy. Sure, I really think that this man's going to hustle hard, and I think he's going to come through with the win. Because I don't think he trained hard enough the second time they fought, because he just expected I beat this guy once, I'll beat him again.
I think it was definitely the first.
And Dustin's an animal.
Oh, he's a complete animal, and that's what I was saying was with the second fight, he was an underdog. I don't think anybody expected that. He came out, and I think you and I can both agree, he whooped Conor's ass.
Oh yeah.
He whooped Conor's ass. So this third time around, it'll be interesting to see, but I I just think he still has that underdog mentality of, look, I got to knock this guy off his totem pole. He's, the face of UFC. Even though he has a couple losses under his belt, you think of UFC, he's got to be the first one you think of. It's Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
For him, he's got to be saying, look, I want to knock this guy off his totem pole.
If he loses, though, he's done.
Connor? Oh, he's
done.
100% retired.
Career over.
Could you see
Stick
him
to your whiskey.
Could you see him go into WWE?
Yeah, they say that all the time. But
Could you see it, though?
I could, because I know they're always in talks. I read the dirt sheets and shit. They always say that they're in talks. But Connor's just like a wild animal. So he'll be interviewing saying wrestling's fake, stuff like that. Like if I was Triple H,
Why would you want that?
I don't want to bring someone in that's saying wrestling's fake.
Yeah.
We don't use the F word,
What about Ronda, though? Because she said the same thing.
That's true, but Ronda also hasn't been back since the fans booed her.
That is very true.
She got booed heavy and then lost to WrestleMania, hasn't been back since.
That's very
And
true.
then her contract just expired.
So she's done.
Yeah, they say she might come back, but who knows? All right, folks, so that's about all the time we have. Riley McDaddy, do you have anything else to say before we sign off here, balls?
The biggest thing to me is I'm just really happy and really proud to be on here for the third time. I love the Garage Boozing podcast. Obviously love drinking beer.
They go together pretty well.
Very well. And to me, one of the best things is the fact that I can talk shop with one of my best friends that I've ever had. Drink beer, do what we do, and just no judgment here. And I love it. I hope there's a fourth, and I really hope there's a fifth.
Well, listen, Leonardo's coming for episode 50, so you better be back before that.
Like I said, I will have a fucking copy of The Departed that will be signed by Leonardo DiCaprio.
You know what's so funny, though, too? One thing I want to say, I'm going to get a little sentimental here for a second.
I love it.
I think that's the word. But, so, you see those memes on, Instagram and stuff, and, where, we send them to each other, too. You've seen if you have a friend that you've had over, 5 years, something like that. Dude, we've been friends over 20 years, which is wild. And the thing is about our relationship with Ash, which I absolutely love, is dude, we don't have to see each other every day.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, you're always my best friend.
Absolutely.
And you will be the best man at my wedding, no hands down, 1,000%. And before I start crying here, I love you, dude.
I love you too, brother.
Yeah.
And that's
I fucking love you.
like you said, you see those things on Facebook and everything like
But
that.
they're true.
And every time I see it, and I just think, okay, I've been friends with this guy you see the ones, it's if you've been friends with somebody for more than 8 years, you're lifelong best friends.
8 years.
We've been best friends for 20 years.
More than 20.
We live
yeah.
together.
I know.
I've seen you do some fucking
You see me naked.
crazy shit.
You've seen me naked.
I've seen you naked. You've seen me naked. It's just the way things happen when you're friends for that long. It just, and it's just the bond that you and I have. I love it. And I love the fact that I can come on here and we can just talk shop and not have to have a whole list of things to talk about.
Yeah, and I had a list and we talked about one topic.
And, we just come on and we just talk and we just, it's just, I love you, man. It's just fun.
I love you
it's
too.
just really fun.
Absolutely. And like I was saying, I don't have to see you every day for you to know that I fucking love you,
Absolutely.
We're busy. Both of us are busy. That shit fucking happens.
Growing up.
Exactly.
It's growing up.
Part of being an adult. But I'm glad we can find the time I'm glad we can both find the time to hang out, chill, and have a good conversation.
Absolutely. And that's what it is every time we hang out. Drinking a couple beers, having a good conversation. You call me balls once or twice.
I know. We call each other balls, just so you guys, if you didn't get that. So thank you guys very much for joining us once again. Enjoy the outro, and we'll see you nerds next week.
Cheers. I fucking love being on the Garage Boozing Podcast. Chase isn't down here, but I'm gonna sing. The Garage Boozing Podcast is fucking awesome. Now everybody smile with me.
Woof. What an episode. It's always a complete blast to have my best friend, the Riley Mac Attack, Riley Mac Daddy, a.k.a. Riley McLaughlin, on the show. He's a homie. Always will be a homie. I love that guy with my entire heart. Riley, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast. You bet your ass that you will be back soon. But folks, please don't forget the absolute #1 way to support the brand. Buy some merch. We've got hats, we've got t-shirts, we've got hoodies, we got sweatshirts. You name it, we got it. And it's all available to you at www.garageboozing.net. And nerds, don't forget to follow the brand on all of your favorite social media accounts at Garage Boozing, as well as YouTube, if you'd rather watch than listen. And of course, don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, whatever the button is, on all of your favorite podcast platforms so you can be notified as soon as a new episode is released. We are on Spotify, we're on Amazon Music, we're on iHeartRadio, we're on Pandora, we are everywhere. All podcast platforms, you name it, we're there. Go subscribe. Thank you. Well, that's all the time we have for today. And guys, thank you so much for your support. This whole thing would not be possible without all of you. So I thank you guys every week. I'm going to continue to do so because without you, there's no brand, there's no podcast. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. And with all that being said, I'll see you nerds next week.
Ladies, gentlemen, and nerds. Do you have what it takes to be a guest on the fastest growing alcohol chugging and nonsense talking podcast? Well, now is your chance. The Garage Boozing Podcast has new guests every week, and you could be one of them. Just simply log on to www.garageboozing.net, click the Be on the Show tab, and submit your information. It's that simple. Join the boozement, or be a loser. Don't miss your chance, because we're taking this to the moon.